Well, we're talking about being healthy and living a long life. And I'm going to list the top 15 foods that you should be eating. And I want you to check them out and see if you like or love or include how many of these foods in your daily or weekly diet. I think that'll be a fun thing to do. I've checked it, and guess what? I am only one, maybe two, that I don't eat. Oh, can't believe it. Try it. By the way, it's day 4, might even be 5 of my hair. And all I do every morning is just put on my mousse, which I didn't bring to my table here, my mousse spray by Aussie. It's called a scrunch spray. And I wet it here, a little bit up here. And the day before yesterday, when I was out on my way home from seeing Moosey, I stopped at Walmart. I needed some foods and things for my special soup that I will be making for you, if not today, tomorrow. And I did pick up a dry shampoo. You know, the selections of dry shampoos weren't great. This was the only one I could find, that Not Your Mother's whatever. And they had 2 or 3 forms of this brand. And I bought the plump for joy, which is what I'm trying to do with my sparse hair these days. So when I opened it, would you believe I couldn't get the pump to go? And I pumped it, and finally I put it upside down and sort of jammed it on the table, and it sort of separated in here. Don't you hate it when you buy something and it doesn't work right away? But anyway, oops, it's not working again. Oh, there we go. So I did do some spraying up in the crown. I'm going to do it again for you just to kind of lift it this time. Now, up until now, I have not put any dry shampoo in, but I wanted a little more fullness as the hairdo goes on. And I can count on dry shampoo every time. I just love this stuff, especially as you get older and you're losing all that wonderful, thick, plumpy hair that you used to have back in the day. Well, I finished with my makeup, and that's not really what I want to talk about today. I'm thinking more and more as my life goes on about the fact that I'm living longer. I actually didn't expect to live this long. Both my parents died in their mid to late 70s, and here I am. I know that over the years, because of my strange tastes, by chance, I happen to have chosen the right foods for me that now they're saying are the wonder foods that you should be taking. And I later on, when I come home from visiting Moosey, because I am a little late and I do want to go now. There's another ball game today, and I know he'll be watching that later in the afternoon. So I kind of want to be out of there by then, because he will focus on the game for sure. But I am going to talk about some of the things that I have found over the past years, some of them over the past couple of years, that I find and believe, especially because I do read an awful lot about these longevity doctors and about what certain doctors and researchers feel about aging, longevity, and the foods that we should be eating and the supplements that we should be taking. And I'm going to share a couple of them with you, especially one of the new ones that Moosey and I are doing now that are working, very important for health. And I'm going to concentrate. Yes, it's great to spend time on our face and our nails and all the rest of it, so that we can look good. Because when we feel we're looking good as best we can, our positive mindset sets in. If we look at ourselves in a mirror and we're bedraggled and tired looking, what does that do for your self-esteem? Not much for mine. So I do try and keep up with that. But you know what? It's not as important to me these days as to what's going on in here and in my gut and my body to help me stay mobile. And that's what I'm going to talk a little bit about in the way of supplements and foods that I seem to eat because my strange eating habits love them, and they seem to be the right things. So we're going to talk about that probably when I come home from visiting Moosey. Well, I came back from visiting Moosey just a little while ago, and I did go into the kitchen and prepare a little bit of supper for myself. Tonight, I'm going to have some of that Panera soup that you can get at Walmart. I just love it. And I've had different variations of it. A chicken with black rice. And tonight I'm having broccoli soup with cheddar cheese in it. Broccoli and cheddar. There goes the birdie again, but not the real one. This one is Moosey's clock. And on the side, I decided I wanted, I did get a loaf of that bruschetta bread. I made a little bit of onion and pesto, basil pesto, and tomato caprese. And I'm going to put some mozzarella cheese on top and have these couple of these little bruschettas on the side. And that'll be my supper. As you know, my eating habits are kind of unusual. Last night I had a great supper. I bought a bag for $5.95 of, I think it was the extra large shrimp at Walmart the other day, frozen, but they're cooked. And so I defrosted them and I tried to get all the water out. You know, I don't like shrimp that has the water in, so I kept pressing it on paper towels. And for supper, I had a bag of those, not the whole bag, but I had them with cocktail sauce. And that was my supper, just shrimp dipped in some cocktail sauce, cold shrimp. So I think I'm eating the right foods, but in kind of a strange way. And to finish up this video, I am going to talk about continuing that subject of longevity and aging. Many of you have asked me what supplements I take, and I have some of them right here in front of me, and I'm going to tell you now what I take. Now, as you know, I do take collagen powder. I take 2 scoops every morning in my coffee, and I think you know by now what the collagen does. If you don't, do read up on it. They've done enough studies now on humans who have been taking this for more than 10 years internally to prove that it does work. And what collagen is, basically, it's the glue that holds all the cells within your body together. Are really important things. And I'm not a biologist or a scientist, but I do know that you do lose your cells start dying out in your late 20s. You start losing cells. And your body can replenish them if you eat correctly. And there are probably top 15 foods that you should all be eating at least a couple of times a week. And it's funny because I'm going to list them for you, and I want you to figure out how many of these foods you actually do eat every week, at least a couple of times. And I think I eat almost all of them except for one thing. And it's kind of a fun thing to do. Now, you know, there's different people with different theories on things, but as we know, you need your protein, number one. That's the biggie. And you know the foods that will give you protein. You need fiber, you need fat. And I like to follow some of these. I particularly like Dr. David Sinclair, who is a Harvard professor. His big subject is longevity and gerontology. He is very interested in that, has been studying that and doing all sorts of research on that for years. I watched a podcast, and he's very interesting to look at. He's very youthful looking, and I think he's in his mid-50s. And his own diet is amazing. He does believe in intermittent fasting. and doesn't start eating until somewhere in the afternoon, which isn't really too hard to do once you start it. But he was asked if you could eat one food, just one, what would it be? And he thought about it for a while and he said, probably an avocado. Well, I love avocados, and I bet I eat at least 3 a week, usually a half at a time. And the avocado, of course, has your fats in it, but they're healthy fats, and evidently all sorts of other things in it that he feels are extremely beneficial, plus they're so yummy. Well, he lists 5 top foods that he feels are the best foods that you could eat for longevity as you age, particularly. And of course, there's lots of foods that you should be eating and lots that you should not be eating. But his top 5 foods are the avocado, extra virgin olive oil, Brussels sprouts, fried, by the way, in, I presume, olive oil and browned with some spices on them. And in that food group would come the dark leafy vegetables like spinach. And he lists broccoli as one of the foods. Moosey hates broccoli. In fact, it's listed on his food menu over there, no broccoli. Go figure, honestly. So I try and give him broccoli disguised in soups and things, but actually he does love broccoli with cheddar cheese on top. So, and what's the other one? Oh, a cantaloupe. He believes that the cantaloupe and some citrus fruits and blueberries come into that with cantaloupes. I think I hit 5. Do you eat most of those too? It's kind of fun to go through some of these foods and look at your own diet and see what you eat. But I don't want to make this too long because I'm not going to include my special soup. I'm going to make that soup tomorrow with you, in which case we'll put it up probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. But this particular video is I'm just going to show you my supplements. So definitely collagen every single day. And I've tried a couple of them, and I prefer the Vital Proteins collagen peptides. It is tasteless, and a scoop, I think, is a tablespoonful. 2 scoops in my coffee. You can't taste it every morning. And to me, you know, they say, oh, collagen helps your hair, it helps your nails, it helps your skin and everything. But more than anything, I'm interested in what it does for my cells, keeping me going so that I have a couple more years of at least feeling semi-good. So and if it does something for my hair and my nails and teeth and skin, that's a bonus. I also take every day fish oil. Love my fish oil. I've been taking fish oil for probably 25 years. A doctor about 25 years ago told me to add it to my diet, and I take probably 2 a day, maybe 1 in the morning, 1 at night. I'm not good about taking a lot of nighttime vitamins, so I will maybe have 2. Sometimes I have 1 in the morning, but definitely the fish oil. And of course, at the same time, I love my sardines, I love my salmon, I love my herring and all those things. So I'm certainly getting enough omega-3. But try the fish oil. I also take a 1 a day multivitamin every single day. And this particular vitamin is particularly for people over 65. It's proactive and it has a lot of extra things in it. It doesn't matter who makes it. Costco has a good one, but I haven't been getting to Costco too awfully much lately. And so I think I get this one online. But this one is a 1 a day, and that's the name of it, 1 a day, I believe. Yeah, and you can get this one on Amazon. But you all should be taking a vitamin, and one that's especially if you are over 65, a good one there. Some of the other ones, let's see, what else do I take? Well, being a diabetic, I take metformin. I take 500 milligrams morning, 500 at night, but a lot of times I skip the night. My diabetes is controlled, and I've had it for maybe 20 years. And the doctor is not worried about my diabetes. Thank God I don't have any other things. I'm pretty good about my sweets and things. The one thing that sets my diabetes off if I have it is rice, white rice. And I know that, and I try and have it very infrequently. Let's see, I have to keep these on for this. I do chew some vitamin C gummies, not every day, but as often as I can think of, maybe having 1 or 2 a day. And that also helps to activate the collagen too, the vitamin C. During COVID, everyone was advised to take zinc and D3. The D3 is the sunshine vitamin, and I probably don't get enough sunshine, even in California. So I just continued these after COVID was over. You know, I take these a couple of times a week, not every single day, but probably you should. So, including the metformin that they now have put in, even though it's a doctor prescription, normally for diabetes, but I think my daughter takes it for thyroid, and it's been given to people for various other things, but mostly they have put metformin now in the category of longevity. They have found that this does more for people to live longer, healthier. And whatever it works on, you can read up about it, but ask your doctor about metformin. Now, another one of those drugs that is prescribed by your doctor, and a lot of you maybe are taking it, is a statin, and that's for your cholesterol. And I've been taking that for probably 25 years. I take the atorvastatin, and that's another drug they feel that almost everyone should take a statin. Now, I know a lot of you have certain feelings about certain of these drugs, and that's fine, but this seems to work for me with this regime. Now, I think I've shown you all of the ones that I had. Now, the newest one that I do take, let me see. I talked about my metformin, my statin, my D3, my zinc. Oh, I take a baby aspirin every single day too, and I've done that for 25 years. And that's sort of to protect your heart a little bit. Just a baby aspirin once a day. Now, the newest one that I've gotten into, now if you're a senior and you have started the one of the disadvantages of being a senior, although many people have constipation at any age, then you probably have tried all sorts of things. And as you've gotten older, it's gotten worse. Well, I have been studying magnesium for a while, all the different kinds. There's probably 8 or 9 different kinds of magnesium. There's one that's very good for sleep. There's one that's good for bones and muscles. There's one that's good for something else. But the magnesium citrate is the one that is good for constipation. Magnesium, oh, here it is. Here's the magnesium citrate gummies. And Nature Made are the ones I've been buying at CVS, and they're not that expensive. Now, the magnesium glycinate is the most popular one. They also say it's the cheapest one of all, but I have not gotten good vibes from that from the various doctors that I've read who explain about the magnesium. So that's the one, magnesium citrate. Look it up and decide for you where you are on the constipation problem, and hope this works for you. They're 200 milligrams, and they suggest that you take 400 milligrams a day. However, from what I have read about magnesium citrate, it is a great supplement for constipation, and a 200 milligram will keep your stool soft on a regular basis once you get regulated. But if constipation sets in or you feel the need of it, take the extra one. And Several people in my family have been taking it, some of the younger generations, even a grandchild who has suffered constipation for pretty much all her life since she was a baby, and the magnesium does it for her. So guess who's on magnesium citrate now? Both Moosey and I. And today I took Moosey's magnesium over to him, and he has taken his first dose. So read up on all these things as they pertain to you. Now, the magnesium oxide is also one that's supposed to be good for this. However, from what I've read, 2 doctors say that 200 milligrams will keep you regular a day. And if you take 400 or more, and you don't want to overdose on this, you don't want to take too much, it can go into a laxative. And by the way, milk of magnesia is magnesium. That's what it is. I never knew that. And as I told you, my mother was big on giving that to me when I was a little girl. In fact, I think I told you she used to pay me 25 cents for every tablespoon that I would take of it. And by gosh, it worked. And sometimes I have resorted to that even now. And it's definitely one of those emergency ones. But I tell you, it works. And now I know why. It's a product of magnesium. So that's all my supplements. Well, that's it. So I'm going to have my broccoli soup tonight. Here it is, the Panera brand. I just love it. Now, I can make my own broccoli soup with cheddar cheese in it. But tonight, I just don't feel like cooking. And I have been resorting, since I've been living alone here for a while with Moosey in a skilled nursing, I've resorted to a lot of fast things that I can just heat up in the micro and enjoy, things that are good for me. And of course, my crazy eating in the morning that's when I have my raw broccoli, by the way. Probably one of the first things that I reach for in the morning, dipped in dill sauce, along with green peppers. And by the way, green peppers and red peppers are on that list of the top 15 foods. I'll try and print it out. And check it. It'd be interesting to see if you eat or love or take how many of these 15 top foods that are supposed to be the best for you for longevity and healthy eating as a person who is advancing in age, even younger people. And by the way, that's the time to start all this eating right and exercising and all the other things that go with stay mobile, stay connected to family and friends, definitely try and stay positive, engaging, and always keep learning something. So now you have a lot to learn all about all these good things that are going to help you feel good. Okay, I'm going to try and get this up so that you can have this one tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm going to make my soupy. I'm not going to tell you the name of it until tomorrow. One of you already guessed. But the soup that I'm making tomorrow kind of goes along with all this. It's definitely healthy. Thanks so much for watching these little videos that we make. And thank you for subbing. Those of you who watch us but haven't subbed, come on, join us, be one of our family. I would really appreciate it. So I'll see you again probably within a day or two. Once again, thank you. I love you all, and God bless us all. Bye for now.